Bonjour and welcome to French Black Metal Time with Rauta. Today I will be talking about this new release by a new band called Jours Pâles. Pardon my friends, I'm not exactly good in that. And this one is called Éclosion, something like that direction. 50 minutes of atmospheric black metal from Ladlo, Les Acteurs de l'Ombre, which is already all famous for their quality French black metal release, sometimes very artsy-fartsy, but nevertheless very much uncompromised in their style and always doing nice looking packaging usually, and they're not doing a digipack release, which is my favorite version of CDs out there. So when I mentioned this is a new band, it's actually a continuation to some other French artists. But curious enough, at the moment there is not even a Metal Archive site when I'm doing this a few days prior to this album getting out on 26th of February 2021. Here you can, however, see what is going on with the lineup. You may figure out some well-known names here, known for other French bands like Asphodel. And it seems like that band came and got gone as quickly. And now this is the next step in line with that sort of black metal. Now it's melodic for sure, it's atmospheric also, and some level also rather melancholic. However, this is not your typical French sounding black metal release in the sense that while this is melodic all the way through, it's not exactly the kind of signature type of French melodies which is so common in so many bands. And I'm not saying it's like a bad thing. It's more like you either like it or you don't. But French black metal is much a signature sound as, say, some Swedish black metal. Now here you can see on the background that is the album by the band, because there is no Metal Archive site for the time being. I guess it will be out roughly on the day when this album is out. But that doesn't really matter. What you have essence here is the lineup information right here, and you will get to read about the background. For example, mention this Asphodel connection. You will have these song lists, and you will obviously have the album cover, which is kind of a beautiful, but also kind of artsy-fartsy. I mean, who wants to put a naked person, in a weird tree like that? But I guess it fits the music, really. I mean, we're talking about French people here who can be very, very artsy, very emotional, but at the same time very skilled and very unique with their vision. And this very much applies to the music here in question. Now, this is a complicated album for me personally because, on the other hand, I really like the atmosphere here. I also sound a very crisp sound, which, lets all the instruments be heard on, very detailed level and all that stuff. But at the same time, I feel like this album is lacking something magical. The kind of hooks that, just cut you in under your skin. And, those kind of a catchier parts. Because after all, we're talking about melodies here. Melodies are usually, doesn't matter what genre, whether we're talking about pop music or metal music, whatever, they're kind of have this kind of a catchier element. And that is where this album is a little bit lagging behind. That is, while they have quite nice melodies, I mean, this is a very, very easy album to get into and listen to it, I kind of feel like nothing is really sticking, nothing is really having that catchy moment here. So while I'm totally cool and I'm actually liking this atmosphere, I wish that it would be a little bit more memorable, to say the least. Now, one thing that separates this from your typical French black metal albums or bands is that the vocals are not that very aggressive or violent and all that stuff. It's almost like this is a step towards post-black metal in so many ways. Not only because some of the riffs or melodies, but also because the rather crisp sound and these vocals. Now, for people who are a little bit, having a hard time with getting into black metal because it's too extreme and all, might find this kind of album actually very approachable. Then again, people who want their black metal to be very, very extreme, violent or fast tempo, or all the way something very extreme, raw, all that, might find this album a tad bit boring. Because this is on the lighter side of black metal in so many ways. And that is a neutral thing in my opinion. it totally depends from which corner you're coming from. If you want all that aggression of extremity and rawness, this is not for you. But then again, if you like melodies and good atmosphere, this is definitely right up your alley. So I'm a little bit divided. I would say this is quite good an album. I just wish it was a little bit more catchy, you know, because now it seems like it's work in progress. It's towards on the path to greatness, but it's not there yet. Then again, how many times you actually get this first album that is just mind-blowingly good? Yes, every now and then, but let's be honest about it, most bands can never do that, let alone with their first album. So, in my opinion, Jours Pâles is definitely deserving your attention. If you don't mind atmospheric black metal, just don't expect it to be your typical black metal album and you're good to go. You will find all the information on this link, which will be provided in the description box, and I guess later on Metal Archives will give you a little bit more insight. And for the time being, at least three songs are out by now, so you can get the idea of the music just by giving your go by yourself. Should you have comments, put them on the comments box below and I will get back to you. Meanwhile, bye bye.